Blended Kingdom Teens is all about the real-life struggles of living with divorced parents.
We give you honest conversation and practical tools for living out your identity and purpose as we chase after God together. Hey VKT, what is up? We're back with another episode for you guys. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about kind of the guilt and pressure that we feel to kind of keep peace in the family, to kind of be the peacemaker of our situations. That a lot of, there can be a lot of pressure to feel like you need to fulfill that role. There can be guilt that comes with it as well. And so we're going to kind of dive into that today. But Jerzi, will you start us off with our verse?
Yeah, this verse I think just goes perfectly. It's 1 Peter 5:7, casting all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. So short.
So short, so sweet. So good.
Sweet. So good. Casting all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. Yeah. That's so peaceful, knowing that there's a place that you can give all of your anxiousness and your guilt and your worry because he cares for you, and let that replace it. Yeah. And so I would say to you, what does that look like in your family? Being the peacemaker and maybe struggling to know that there is someone who you can put your worry on and lean on in those moments. What does that look like for you and your family, and what have you learned from it?
Yeah, I think that the first thing that comes to my mind when it comes to being the peacemaker is the communication between my parents and how I've always been the median between them, which I think is like preaching to the choirs of people in our kids, of things that are people in our situations. Yeah, and so I'm in college and I still do this, but I don't anymore, but we'll get to that. And so my parents would be like, hey, tell your dad this, or hey, tell your mom this. And eventually one day I just got tired of it because I was like, you know what? No, it's fine. I know that their communication's not great. I'll just do it. But then I'm having to literally be the telephone between them. And I'm like, no, I can't do this anymore. And so I remember one day, I think it was my mom was like, hey, can you tell your dad this? And I said, no. She was like, what? I was like, no. I said, I'm 19 years old. I'm in college. I'm not going to do that anymore. I was like, you have this man's phone number. Text him yourself, okay? I know it's probably easier for you to go through me, but it's making my life so much harder because now I have to be in the middle of, the remnants of the divorce. And I don't, I've been delivered from those things. And so I'm like, I don't want to go back and keep going back and feel like I'm in high school again. And so there was always this desire to want to keep the peace. And I thought that I was the one doing, I could do that.
And that was your role.
Yeah. I thought, because I'm in the middle of it, I had to, but I realized that, having a place, like my own little special place, which is obviously with God, to where I grew in maturity, realizing that I no longer have to do that. And having, I guess, God give me that maturity and deliver me from the mindset that I have to be the peacekeeper and that is my sole role, that I'm not their daughter, but I am the person I'm literally their telephone. It's just so sweet to know that that there's open communication with God literally anytime, just talking on the whole telephone thing, but there is a special place where I can be like, hey God, I'm really struggling with this. God, I don't want or ever want to be this person, but I feel like I have to be. And so I think it's a common misconception that divorced kids have to be the median and the person between their parents. And you don't. Nobody's ever asked you to do that. You just kind of want to naturally do it. Yeah. Because it seems easiest, but it's actually putting a lot more pressure on you than you need. What about you? What would you say to your own question, I guess?
Yeah. I think that the idea of keeping the peace within your family, like you said, it's default for us as divorced kids, including if your family is the divorced family within all your family, that no one else is divorced and that's just your family. It's really easy to just try and keep the peace at family gatherings, holidays, stuff like that. For me, being the little sister, I was very I was the mom at my dad's house. I wanted to nitpick them and tell them what to do and boss them around, and I did that. And for a while, it turned into me wanting to make sure that they were okay. Like in my head, it turned into like a sweetness. It wasn't as much as like a bossy thing. And then I would say I thought that it was because I was a really hospitable person, that when there was hangouts and stuff that I would try to keep the peace because I wanted to serve others. And I think that's true. But I think it's also because I didn't want people to have confrontation. That if something did go the matter, that I would try and like nip it before it happened so that nobody had to have like a serious conversation and like everyone be okay, because I didn't want people arguing or ruining a good time. I think that's something that in my brain as a child, that in my brain, like family as a little girl was sort of ruined because of the divorce. And a lot of that was because people got like really serious and hurt by each other because it's like real life. But if I keep the peace, even though sometimes it's fake, there's still like everyone's still good and there's still waters. And so I think that I totally understand that. But I think confrontation means growth. And that if there is a conversation that needs to happen within your family or at a family gathering, and it be like a side conversation or something, whatever it is, like let that happen. And also like, you can't control everyone. Yeah. Like, I think sometimes I would really try and, like, control situations and help people out and, like, even help people's confrontation, like, be the medium person and be, like, thinking I'm being helpful when really, like, people need to learn. Like, my brothers need to learn to have conversation with each other and be, like, they're all, like, 3 years older than me. Like, they're grown adults, Jerzi. Like, let them have that conversation. So I think wanting to have that peace within your family is so natural. But also, I think there's a good time for that piece to be broken and growth come out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of going off of that, like the thing that comes to my mind is like an emotional boundary of like saying, even if it's for yourself, like, hey, I can't do this anymore. And allowing yourself to no longer be the median between everybody's conflict, even though you want to, just because you want that peace to, you know, like, seems like we've never really had peace. And like wanting to be that person is such a natural desire, I would say, for a lot of people to have peace within your relationships and within your family. But there has to come a day where you have to set a boundary and be like, I can no longer do this. Like whether somebody else has to step up or it just does, nobody steps up and we just have our own little boundaries within our own like relationships with our family members. Yeah. But like, setting boundaries, emotional boundaries, is extremely hard because we don't really understand our emotions as much either. And so kind of gauging that. Is there ever a time where you found yourself, whether it's in high school, when you were younger, or even through college, setting an emotional boundary with a family member or with your entire family, where you're like, you know, I just can't keep the peace right now. It's no longer my job. Or is there like, you're still processing that and like working on those things?
This past year, you know, I sat in the garage with my stepdad and we just had a conversation because our emotions and our two worlds and our relationship were just clashing. Like none of it was like going together at all. We were not like no chemistry at all. Like we're pretty like loving. Like I love my stepdad. He's amazing. And we got to a point of just like emotionally, a lot of my anger and hurt of the divorce is easily deflected to my step-parents. Because it's like, if I didn't have step-parents, then maybe my parents would be together. But like, that's just not realistic. But that's like my childlike view. And I had to create an emotional boundary. And I told him my heart. And I told him where I was at, how I was feeling. I mean, I just completely laid it out there. Because at that moment, it's like, I'd rather him know everything and our relationship be like, just out in the open now, rather than like fighting these emotions and him just not understanding me at all. Yeah. Like whatever that looks like, whether he accepts it or not, whether he loves me after this or not, which literally he does. Like he accepted all of it and he understood it because he did the same thing. He shared with me where he was at, what he was feeling. But the boundary I created at the end of that conversation was that like I just need a space to grow. Yeah. Like I don't want to set like a goal right now that by this point me and you need to be just like we used to be and like A-okay and like whatever it is. I just need I want to accept you where you are, and I just need you to accept me where I am because I'm figuring it out. And I think that boundary of just vulnerability, but also saying like, that's all I need.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have, like, not setting expectations is a big one. And I'm like the queen of expectations. Like, I have expectations for myself in 5 minutes. Like, I have just like just lined up. And I think the emotional expectation of like having it figured out and knowing and like expecting you to feel a certain way is unrealistic.
Yeah.
And I think it all goes back to this verse of just casting it all on the one who knows what the end result is. Like, he knows what your expectations are, and he knows what it's gonna like, what the events are gonna hold. And I think that gives me so much peace that I don't have to worry about that. Yeah. And that my anxieties and my worries about my emotions, about my family, about the peace that I can't keep because this world just is broken and it's so difficult. But I have peace because he can keep it with me. Like mine and his relationship. Yeah. Like, it's gonna be there. Yeah. And so, yeah.
That's good. Sorry I hit you with that
hey
deep question, but I just came to my head, so I thought I'd ask. So yeah, well, thank you guys so much for tuning into this, what turned to be very deep conversation really quick. But I hope you took something from it. I hope that, you know, this helps you when you want to be the peacemaker, and you know, you have those hard conversations, and you set those boundaries, and they are healthy, and it's very healthy to do those things. Yeah. So,
and pray through that.
Literally.
Pray through that. Call on the Lord for that strength.
Talk to God all the time. Yeah. About everything. He's awesome. So yeah, but definitely come back for the next episode. Yeah, it's going to be really good. So yeah, but
hey, as always,
stay strong and courageous. Bye.